Okay. So, not to get too meta, but you are able to successfully make it to Candlekeep without being accosted.
What?
Is there anything you want to do on this 5-day journey?
Absolutely.
I will basically be spending it at least 2 of the days or 2 of my downtime days, even if it's spread out over 4 days, writing down the Cure Wounds spell.
Okay. Yeah, you can finish both of those. And you want to roll to see if something
It's
bad
10%.
happens. So
10 below.
Below than 10.
Complication.
Nothing on the first one's a 61.
Okay.
Second one's a 51.
Yeah. So you're able to successfully make them. Yeah.
I hope it was going to be like we summon a greater demon or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
I will spend
I didn't even look to see what they are.
a good bit of time speaking with Mr. Q about dragons.
Yes.
Because he's so insistent about his wonderful green dragon.
Yeah.
So I want to learn more about that, and then I will just go on to just the group as a whole about the evils and horrible tyranny of Tiamat, and how Bahamut is the one true dragon god.
Okay. So, Kevin, is there anything you want to share about?
I mean, I will give him the slimmed down version.
Okay.
My homeland was terrorized for many generations by a green dragon, and then for reasons unknown, she turned a new leaf and helped lead the land into an era of prosperity. And my family, since I'm a small part of the royal line, we are kind of related to her in a way. We've run some special errands for her, and it's sort of a family affair. And we sort of worship her as a kind of pseudo patron deity, even though we know she's not a god. She's kind of the symbol of the Emery Valley. She's on my big gaudy gold cufflinks and on my staff.
Cool.
So he's proselytizing, but I'm paying lip service.
Yeah.
I'm not really listening.
Oh yeah, no.
Like no one's all evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone could turn a new leaf.
Yeah. Okay.
We all got goodness in us.
I don't expect anyone to actually listen to
Yes.
anything I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's more for me and Bahamut.
Do you guys do anything with the shield or the box on the?
Yes.
So Clash has one key, 5 has the other. So how long into this trip before the discussion of open the box or not open the box happens?
Oh, right away. I'm asking them to open the box. I've got some experiments to perform on this thing.
I don't believe we need to mess with the box. I agree with Rajan. We need to leave this closed. Find somebody who has more knowledge about it, and then discuss it with them further. We want to make sure all of our safeties are in order before we take this apart. I would rather have somebody work with it who knows it, put it together, take it apart, and not release some other type of evil into the world.
How about I perform my test on it, and then as soon as it's done, we can put it back in the box.
What is your test?
Are you sure you want to know now?
Definitely before we open the box.
Could you ask in Kenku for me?
Okay. Test?
I pull out a rope from my bag. I pull out my 50 foot of hempen rope, and I tie it to the back of the spice cart. And if someone will kindly hand me the shield, I can show you the materials test that I was going to perform.
Are you gonna fucking surf behind the thing on the shield?
I was going to ask about
surfing?
its surfing prospects too. I was a little curious.
I'm just trying to see if there's any market for profitability in the shield market.
One of the knights one of the nights while everyone's sleeping, it's like me, like I'll post up one night, and I'll just kind of be looking over everybody. And as soon as I see that Raijin is asleep and most of the other guards are asleep,
Okay.
I will walk over to Coin Charmer
Okay.
and kind of just touch him on the shoulder, give him the quiet, stand up. We walk over with one key, unlock it,
Okay.
pick the other lock.
Okay. What's your response, Coin, when he does that? All for it?
When he's opening the lock.
Yeah, he wakes you up and he kind of guides you over to the lead box, and he unlocks one of the locks.
And I pull out my tools to unlock the other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You
We
assist
gotta
me
get
on
this
it?
thing open, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a lockpick check with advantage.
Got it.
That'd be that's a +4, so 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I'm sorry.
Roll.
17.
Oh,
17.
okay. I was like, 7's not gonna do it. Yeah. So you fumble around with it for a little bit, but then it eventually clicks and falls open.
Yeah, like I'll kind of know where I put the things, set them down right below it,
Okay.
open it up real slowly so it doesn't squeak.
Okay. You hear a, "Oh God, I couldn't breathe in there. Oh, thank goodness." I'm just joking. It was fine.
I just be like, I need to examine you. Do you mind?
He says, "Examine away. If you have any questions, let me know."
I basically spend the next hour trying to attune to the shield.
Okay.
Follow me. Follow me.
Okay. Well. So. Yeah. So. Let's see. Let me just read through it once more.
Oh, yeah.
here.
I mean, I can always see
that
it.
is a good point.
Wait, so we wouldn't have 2 people on watch?
That's a valid point.
What is it?
Like, it'd be cool if you did it like during like your only 2 shifts, but if it was not your shift, then there'd be other people, and if it was your shift, you'd have to account for the changeover.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I think that there's 5 Flaming Fist as well.
Right? Like they're not all gonna sleep all night long.
No,
they're gonna take
but
part and watch.
But they
in the
wouldn't.
watch.
They wouldn't care, right? Like that's your stuff.
Yeah.
They haven't been told anything other than to escort these adventurers, and they
Can
came
they tell
with
he's
this.
pickpocketing it? Can you tell he's not opening? Like he doesn't have the other key. He's
Yeah.
doing something nefarious to open it up.
Roll for carry.
I really don't. I don't think the Flaming Fist would care, honestly.
They know Clash was explicitly put in charge and given a key.
And he gave a key to 5.
It's true. One
is
of
true.
2.
Yeah. So
These are the cream of the crop of the Flaming Fists from
no.
Saj's
Yeah.
account. So not my job, not my problem, guys.
yeah.
I'm gonna see how horrible this is.
So while 5 is attuning to it, he's still. I'm imagining he's still attuning to the shield.
Yeah, it takes about an hour.
What does the attunement look like?
It looks just like this. Follow me, 5. I tie the other end of the rope to the shield, and I say, "Go ahead, sit behind me, and I'm gonna sit on the shield, and we're gonna ride the shield for a little bit."
Well, you guys aren't traveling, so you guys are in camp at this
Yeah.
point.
Oh,
Is there like a hill?
And if you guys do that kind of stuff, it's definitely
yeah,
gonna wake up
yeah.
a few people.
And you're like, no,
well,
no, just
I'll wait till
settle
we're
it.
traveling to do that. That's I thought we were moving, so.
No.
Okay. So, as you are attuning to the shield, I think Gargwath is speaking to you.
Yeah.
And he's giving you information about the shield itself. He says the shield is of celestial origin, and it has been converted into a prison for him. let me read through it one more time here just to make sure I got everything.
Let's see if I
right.
can look it up.
No, don't look it up. Yeah.
Can't decide how many rations Q eats in the course of this journey. 10, 13.
He did at least 10.
So he
yeah.
speaks about different spells that may be able to unlock the doors of this prison that he's in, and he says that if he is freed, then you'll be able to examine the prison more fully. Basically, you're looking at the outside door of it. He explains, and basically that to get the full nature of this, you would need to look at it more thoroughly.
What is needed to understand to open?
He says, I don't know of a way to permanently open it. There are spells that will allow me to come out temporarily, and I can hold on just a second. He says I can be let out temporarily, then I must return. He says I'm sure that there are ways that I can be released permanently, and maybe with your help, I may be able to do that. And he says that dispel evil and good cast on the shield can let him out temporarily. And he says that he can grant someone that attunes to the shield some of his powers that he's able to cast through the shield and grant to the person that attunes to it.
Well, I cannot set you free. I do not have the ability to do that. But taking apart is what I am good at. I will figure this out. But for now, I will continue to attune to you.
Okay.
But I will not open you out, pull you out, or open your door.
He says that he's patient and he's willing to wait, and that he's sure that an opportunity will arise at some point. He says that he does not trust Raijin, and that Raijin deals in absolutes.
That is fine. I trust his judgment, but I do want to know more about you. But I just continue and whatever he says beyond that, I just that's fine. But
Yeah.
I just need to attune to you so I know how you work.
So after you attune, the shield has 3 charges. You can use an action to expend 1 charge to cast Fireball, or 2 charges to cast Wall of Fire. And the DC is 21.
So you should give up on your god. This guy's better.
And it regains all expended charges daily at dawn. The Wall of Fire lasts 1 minute, no concentration required. And then I believe...
Wait,
What is
does no
the 2 charges?
concentration required mean you can't drop it?
Wall of Fire.
No, it means the shield is concentrating on it for you.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
so if you cast Wall of Fire, the shield has to decide to drop it.
Does it have any protection?
See, I
benefits?
don't... I think I've read a little bit about this, and it doesn't say that it is a +2 shield.
There's not stats for it in the back or anything.
No.
So it's just like shield, but has spell stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think I read somewhere that it's supposed to be a +2 shield, so it'd give you +4 to AC.
That's what I've known about it was +2 shield.
But
I think it's in your that
D&D
Mescaline
Beyond
thing.
says it's a
It'll have like a
+2.
little card.
don't see it.
Okay. That is fine. After I attune to it and I know some of what it is, I close the lid, I lock it both back up, and I will ritually cast Alarm on it.
Okay. Okay.
So if anybody opens it for any other reason, I will know.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The
That's,
alarm only lasts 8 hours.
That's fine. I will cast it on it every day.
okay. All right. So, the next morning, you guys all wake up, continue on your way.
You'd have to cast it 3 times a day, right?
Just ritually. So like whenever I realize that it's getting to the end of the the thing, I will go over it with some thread, wrap it through the locks, tie it.
Okay. Let me just Google. Like, I just want to make sure that it is a +2 shield.
So if you put it back in the box, do you maintain your attunement to it?
Yeah, that would be it, because it's a lead box and it's supposed to block.
And like most things, if you're attuned to it, like if you stop carrying it for a certain amount of time, you just become unattuned to it.
Oh yeah, there is something like that, but is that a default rule or is that a specific item thing?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I think
I forgot to buy ball bearings and caster wheels. I was going to turn it into a skateboard.
So it is an artifact or a legendary shield. So most people are saying it's a +2 shield, so it'd be +4 to your AC.
If the item has been more than 100 feet away for at least 24 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here it is. While holding the shield,
Okay, so all I have to do is stay within 100 feet of the box.
Yeah, and we're not gonna leave.
while holding the shield, you gain a +2 bonus to AC and resistance to fire damage. Sorry, I forgot about that part. Okay.
No, I just wanted to know.
Well,
what
it's
it
just
is.
+2, right?
Well,
yeah, so it would be
shield.
it would be a
A shield
adding,
is +2, and then a +2 shield is +4.
yeah.
But it says while holding it, you get a +2 bonus. I don't know.
Right. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's-
you wouldn't get the extra.
Yeah, you don't get the extra bonus because I'm not carrying the shield. It's still in the box, so I'm not getting the +2 to my AC because I'm already carrying a shield. But I can still know what it's doing and stuff like that. And talk to it. Probably not through the lead box, but
Yeah, and I think to cast Fireball
From it,
and
you
stuff
have
like
to
that,
have
you
it.
have to have
Yeah.
it with you. Okay.
Yeah, because it's basically the shield casting all these things.
Yeah, definitely.
Is this saying you get a +2 bonus to AC like the regular bonus, or is that?
Yeah, so
an
that's-
extra
no,
that's-
that's in addition.
That's the
Okay.
debate.
See, that's
about
what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
because
I was thinking it was
the
like
debate in
regular.
Reddit, the article that I read was like, okay, while holding the shield, you gain a +2 bonus to AC and resistance to fire damage. They're saying it's a shield, so you get +2, and then while you're holding it, you get another +2 bonus to AC. So it's basically +4
Yeah.
because it's a shield,
Okay.
and then +2.
Like
When does a shield become a house?
Like added one additional word in parentheses would have made that so much.
I know.
better.
When
I
Mordenkainen
know.
does it.
I know, like that. A lot of people complain about the ambiguity of the shield description, but we'll say it's a +2 shield at this point. So
Okay,
it gives
that's
you
fine.
grants +4 to your AC if you need.
It's a +2 toboggan to me.
Yeah, it's really rough on the front, so it might not slide very well.
Yeah, it's not gonna. It's got a lot of
the
twists
rope.
and turns and scrapes.
That would be hilarious. Though.
If we were plowing a field, it'd work great.
Yeah. Okay, so the next morning, you guys continue on your way. So as the 8 hours comes up, you see 5 walk over and begin to cast a spell on the box.
Yeah, well, not on the box. I'm just in the locks. You basically see me take out a piece of silver thread, wrap it through the locks, tie it off, while I cast alarm on it.
Yep.
This is just to know, and if anybody comes up, it'll be like, this is just so that way, if anybody gets into it, I don't know.
Okay. Cool. So you successfully arrive at Candlekeep. are allowed through the doors, and Fisk is with you the whole time. I saw the text. You can interact with him if you want. If not, he kind of keeps to himself and just kind of, he feels like this is a task to complete, and he's on his road home.
I would ask him if he knows what he knows about the puzzle box, because the puzzle box was like the thing he was all about.
Yeah, he'll say, my boss is very interested in it. He believes that inside holds some kind of information about how the pact between we now know Thavius and Zariel was formed, and he believes that one, he wants to make sure that it can't be replicated or hasn't been replicated, or part of the wording of whatever contract it is doesn't include other cities or agreements for other cities or anything like that. So that's basically what he wants to do with it. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
I continue practicing trying to hold the energy ball in my hand and then working my blast into my basic kata.
Okay. So how about you guys go ahead and level up to level 5 at this point on your travel. So as you're practicing, you feel you're getting better at this.
At level 5, okay, so the day we have level 5, Q gets up and he's like been working out a lot and he's feeling pretty good about stuff.
Okay.
So he takes his giant gaudy arm cufflinks and he takes one of them off and lets it go and it slams into the ground. Takes the other one off, lets it go, slams into the ground with a loud thud. Like, glad I got those training bracers off. Finally.
Oh, nice. Oh, gotcha. They're
nice.
super heavy so that he builds muscle. That's awesome.
I think I'm gonna need those now.
That's great. I love that. And then as you guys are leveling up, we can continue, I guess.
Wow, I'm twice as fast now.
So you're led through Candlekeep. Fisk is kind of leading the way. You part ways with the spice cart. So you're carrying the chest again, and you're led to a unassuming library, and you're led deep into this library through these like twisting like maze-like hallways, and you're led into what looks like a study nook, and through these doors, and as you walk in, you Fisk calls out, "Sim, I was successful," and you hear a like the sound of like a thud under a table, and a figure stands up, kind of holding his head. He's got long gray hair. He's got a goatee, kind of balding a little bit, and he says, "Oh, Fisk, successful. That's amazing. Who are your friends?"
Leaning forward. Hi, I am your firearms implemented various equipment entity. But you may call me Five.
Five, nice to meet you. I'm Sim Hornblade.
Sim, can you help us with a puzzle box? We were told to bring this to you.
Yes, of course. Bring the chest over, and he you set the chest down, and he kind of gestures to unlock the locks.
Okay. I pull out my one key. I go over, break the alarm.
Okay.
Undo one. Step back.
So you said to do the alarm, you had to tie a string around it, right?
Yeah, just break the alarm. So I know it. It just is a ting
like
in the
an
back of my
alarm
head.
in
Yeah.
his head, yeah.
But the string has still there, right?
Well, no,
he
I
just
break
broke
it.
the string off to trigger the alarm, basically.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I walk up to it. I can accurately recall anything that I've seen. So is anything amiss? Is there any like hint?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Sure. That's not good. That's a 4 plus 3, 7.
Yep. Yeah, nothing seems amiss. Looks ship shape, everything looks fine.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and unlock it.
Okay. The lid is tossed back, and Sim looks in, and he says, a shield and a box. And he reaches in and pulls out the puzzle box, and he begins to examine it, and he kind of walks over to a desk, and he says, any tinkerers about?
Yes, I reach forward, I grab the chest, close it, and
Okay.
relock the one side.
Okay.
And I turn around and I walk over with him.
Okay. He says, have you ever played with something called a puzzle box before?
I have not had the pleasure, but I know what you're speaking.
He says, this is one, actually. It's very, very complicated. Only the greatest wizard would be able to open these. I unfortunately am not a greatest wizard. I'm a copy of.
Is your name Ernest?
I am a copy of a very great wizard, but
Dwarf?
Yeah, Sim Hornblade. His
I get it.
simulacrum.
Yep,
Yeah.
I get it.
So he says, I am unfortunately not a great wizard. I am a copy of a great wizard, but I am a bit of a cheat. As he's looking at this puzzle box, he pulls out this vial, and he pops the cork, and he pours it over, and there's like a really intricate like maze carving. And as he pours the liquid, it begins to kind of traverse the maze, and it backtracks, and then it traverses a different way, and it backtracks again, and eventually it finds the correct path, and the puzzle box begins to glow, and it falls apart. Inside is a series of plates that are linked by chains, and he says, he takes a look at it, and he says, anyone speak Infernal?
Oh, I do.
He says, go ahead and do the honors.
I
And
speak so many languages.
it says, if you want to read the starred part.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
Be it known that I, Thavius Krieg, High Overseer of Elturel, have sworn to my master, Zeriel, Lord of Avernus, to keep the agreements contained in this oath. I hereby submit to Zeriel in all matters and for all time. I will place her above all creatures, living and dead. I will obey her all my days and beyond, with fear and civility. I'm so glad I killed that motherfucker.
But how isn't he in hell? Didn't you say that anybody who dies, who has signed the creed,
Doesn't mean he'll have a good time.
but now he works for the devil?
He already did. Continuing on.
Yeah, be careful, guys, texting like wiki descriptions of
Yeah,
magic
ignore
items
that.
because there are 100% spoilers on some of these, and I'd like to keep at least some of it,
Spoiler free.
spoiler
Yeah.
free. So just be careful with wiki articles and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Got it.
I recognize the dispensation of the device called the Solar Insidiator, hereafter called the Companion.
That's a fucking baller name. Solar Insidiator?
Yeah.
Sick.
In my capacity as High Overseer of Elturel and its vassal territories, I acknowledge that all lands falling under the light of the Companion are forfeit to Zeriel. All persons bound by oath to defend Elturel are also considered forfeit. I further recognize that this dispensation will last 50 years, after which the Companion will return whence it came, taking Elturel and its oath-bound defenders with it. if that is Zerial's wish. All this is my everlasting pledge.
Well, there's the proof that we needed.
He kind of looks around to you and he says, you guys don't seem surprised.
No, a lot of the things that we knew about Thavius Krieg was that he was working for Zerial in one way or another. He did not want. He explained to Raijin that he did not want all of the companion and Elturel to go to hell, but he thought he had 50 years. He apparently
Squandered those 50 years.
yeah wasted the 50
dog
years trying to protect it.
He kind of looks over the plates again and he says, well, good news, I suppose, is doesn't look like this has any other further reaching effects of other cities at this point. Not to say that Zariel somehow hasn't made deals with other governing bodies of other cities, but at least this one seems self-contained. He says, so he kind of examines it for a few more minutes, and he says, now I'm a bit of an expert on demonic and devilish contracts.
Really? Are you sure?
I've spent the last year almost exclusively studying them. There's a few ways to break contracts. You can have the initiator of the contract break it. You can kill the person that initiated the contract. You can also this is and he kind of holds up the plates and he says this is one half of the contract. If the other half are brought together and they are destroyed, then the contract is broken.
Who would you think has the other half of this contract?
Well, I would think it's pretty obvious.
Zerial?
You said if we kill the initiator of the contract. Is that also Zerial? Because I killed Krieg.
Yeah, I mean, Krieg is the agreeer of the contract. Zerial has penned it.
Zerial is the initiator.
Yeah, Zerial is the governing body, the most important part of it. So she would need to be killed.
I don't believe we can kill an angel.
Yeah, it seems like a tall order.
And I don't think you would wish to kill her.
She's no longer an angel.
But she once was a Hellrider.
As far as I'm concerned, she betrayed the Hellriders and everything that they stood for.
So was Krieg, right?
Krieg was not a Hellrider.
He was just the king of the town or whatever.
President Elturel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The leader.
The High Overseer.
Yeah. And he says, well, I believe you have a choice at this point.
My voice choice a little bit.
He says, you can move on to another adventure, or you can help and see if we can work together to return Elturel.
Well, I must go to Elturel to learn more healing. But
the original Hellriders went to hell. That's why they're the Hellriders. Do you know how to get to the Hells?
He says,
Oh, that's where that name comes from. I didn't put that together.
he says, yes, if I believe the Elturelian history correctly, Hellriders used to be just the Riders, and they were remonikered Hellriders when Zerial led them in.
Yeah, that is much better branding.
And he looks at you and he says, I assume by your regalia that you are a Hellrider?
Yes.
well,
So-
he's just a rider now by that theory.
He says,
I see sparks in his fucking
he says, I have traveled to Avernus a few times myself. I know of a way. we unfortunately have a bit of a problem. Elturel is in Avernus, but it is also not in Avernus. It's still linked in some way to Faerun, so a plane shift won't do it necessarily. We have to go by some other means. Me and my colleague have been working on it for quite some time now, and I think that we have an idea on how to do it, but you would be the first.
What do you mean linked to Faerun still? What does that mean?
Well,
Is it not? It's not
When-
fully in hell.
yes, there's some sort of magical bond. So if you try to plane shift, you would arrive in Avernus, but not wherever Elturel is. If you try to teleport, you would
Into the
arrive
crater.
in the crater of where Elturel was. So there is another way that my friend has been working on, and we believe that it will work. Kind of a combination of both.
So does this mean maybe something in the contract ain't complete yet? That maybe it's still between worlds?
It's
not all the way consumed?
hard to tell. I believe it's not consumed yet. There might still be hope, but
Is it in some sort of demi-plane?
I don't believe so. I believe it is in Avernus somehow, but
But it is.
scrying and the like have been troublesome. So I don't know what the exact state of Elturel is.
Okay.
I go false, and then I change out his word for wizard.
And he's like, "You're right. I am a copy of a wizard. Which brings me to another. I am definitely not bad. Which brings me to my next point. I am looking for the wizard that made me. His name is Ernest. Ernest Hornblade. He and his companions have given their lives to save Faerun from a demon incursion in the Underdark a number of years ago.
That sounds fake. I would have heard of something like that.
You'd be surprised. He says, I believe that at least a couple of his I believe himself and a couple of his companions are in Avernus somewhere. If you would do me a favor, since I am doing you a great favor, you would search for these friends of Ernest and Ernest himself, and see that he returns safely.
I mean, that sounds
Of
fair
course.
to me.
Okay. He kind of gets a little emotional maybe for a minute, and he says, I'm getting ahead of myself, though. The other artifact, may I see it?
The other artifact is a shield.
Yes, it is an artifact, though, very powerful, and I would like to see it.
Very well. I unlock it.
Okay.
Open the case.
Okay. He sits down and begins to ritual cast Identify on it, and as he is ritual casting, he's investigating. He's kind of talking to himself. He's like, "This looks," he kind of mumbles like, "It looks like this might be I lost the name. He's talking about a different shield that it might be. And I can't remember the name of it right off the bat.
Super Angel Shield.
The shield of downhill fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. I don't think it matters in the Grim. Oh, the Shield of Sylvam. And he's talking about how this other shield was held by Tetherian royal line, and it was handed down through generations. But this carving on this side doesn't show that it is the shield of Sylvam. And it was lost in the Eye Tyrant Wars, anyways. And he kind of talks a lot about that. He says this might be the shield of the. And as he's talking, the shield talks to 5, and he says "Shut up, old man. Copy of a pathetic wizard. Do you know what his party members used to always make fun of the original for not having any of the correct spells prepared? He's worthless to them, and his copy will be half as useful as his master was to you. Leave this place. I can find better ways of getting to Avernus."
Beautiful.
I just ignore it.
This guy might actually be better than Ernest because he can only ritual cast, right? So he can't even make bad choices when preparing spells.
Well, and you see around you piles of spell scrolls as well.
Oh yeah.
So he has purchased all of his spells and spell scrolls so that he doesn't use his
very
allotment
limited
of
spell slots.
While he was ritual casting Identify, I kind of waltzed around him and watched him doing it.
Okay.
I look at the guys and I go, I can do that too.
He says, like, I'm sure you can, young goblin. No offense, I'm just studying it myself. He says,
Poor simulacrum.
I know, poor guy.
I want to make a small version of him on the table, casting Minor Illusion.
Okay.
And then go, I'm a copy of a copy. Or I'm a copy of a wizard.
He begins to giggle, and he loses his concentration. He has to ritual cast Identify. He says, "Good job, Kenku. What's your name?" Okay, and he goes. He says, "Okay, I don't even pretend to be able to pronounce that, but that's pretty funny." And then he begins to ritual cast Identify.
Fucking phenomenal.
I make the illusion like sit down like it's studying something.
He's able to maintain focus this time. And he's able to complete the Identify spell. And he says, he's like, "This shield is a symbol of good's triumph over evil. Gazing at such beauty, one can easily overlook the terrible force bound within it. Gargoth is, I believe, its name." At this point, he might have already tried to speak to a number of you. He says he also goes by the name Hidden Lord. He was a pit fiend sent by Asmodeus to corrupt mortals on the material plane. And there at
He's
Amass...
really bad at math.
Yeah. He's like, 10 of 9, I'm assuming you're referring to. Good job. He says that Gargoth began to corrupt mortals and became a sort of demigod. And as his worshippers increased, his power increased. And he says that he's trapped in the shield now, and you can tell that it is him being trapped in the shield has corrupted the shield in some way. And he kind of gestures to the celestial form on the top and the demonic kind of melted like sneer at the bottom. And he says he's very powerful, and he corrupts anyone that holds the shield. He
At
says,
that point, I glare at 5, I told you.
and he says that he says, "I'm sure if you speak to him that he will promise the world and may even be able to impart some powers to you, but but I advise against it. The
Powers.
He says, usually, deals some, perform some kind of give and take. If you help him, he grants some sort of powers to you. I mean, I'm not sure of the specifics of what Gargoth may be able to grant, but I caution you against finding out. He says. There may be a way to destroy it. He says there's a couple of choices. In my opinion, I would put it in a pocket plane and promptly forget about it.